today. From Lumen Field in Seattle, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks versus Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
Renamed in late 2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Prescott to throw it. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing. Prescott. Dancing to his left. Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Prescott now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. They go back to Carson here on second. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. This defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Now Lock again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the 1st down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. They run for it with Carson, and this time he is in. Chris Carson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now Prescott. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Hunter Nicewander on to punt now on 4th down. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, 32 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And man, Charles, talking about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this, after that throw, his hands will hurt later, not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jordan Brooks came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the 1st down sack. Prescott, and this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish, because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Chris Carson trotting back out there. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
On first down, it's Carson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A tackle made there by Ronnie Perkins. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
A try here for the extra point. And it's 21-3. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Prescott on first down. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Harrison. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
This time they stay on the ground. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Rams who are out in front as those teams approach halftime. The Rams trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we head east to Detroit to check on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Miles Sanders with a touchdown run. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's going to get this all the way down to the Cowboys' 31-yard line. And even 100 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. And I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. And there's also a flag to go with it. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
On play action, Locke. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Micah Parsons leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted. Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
We may be looking at the scoreboard. This offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. Rolling to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guy. just gave up that play.
So the illegal forward pass also cost him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. This is Carson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. They run again with Carson. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 122 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He wanted that end zone. Powerful running, but he couldn't quite get there.
And that's going to really make him upset. And right now, there's no way he's letting a coach take him out of the game. He's going to want the ball again, so he actually does get into the end zone, hopefully on his next carry.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is, just what you said, you've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Prescott off play action. And this is going to be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. Here's Locke. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big connection on that one. 38 yards. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They look to throw. It's Locke being chased out left. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 138 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
He will push his way down to about the 14. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off down near the 5. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
They go back to Carson here on 2nd.
And they'll get him down here at the 23.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. So the victory here for Seattle. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter. But 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him. And then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the 1st quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Seahawks,
they get yet another victory to finish the year at 14-3 overall.
And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys,
it could be a potentially devastating loss as they finish with a mark of 9-8.
But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.